Three, two, one. We are live. Okay, hey everybody. No one's there, so I'm just gonna wait like a couple of minutes or whatever, and see who pops in. Yeah, hi. I'm watching the tulips sway in the breeze over here. So there we go. Oh no, that's Susie saying hi to people. There's someone. Okay, someone's there. Hello. Hi, y'all. Gonna just chat for a second. Okay, now the numbers. People are popping in there. Hey, Teresa, how you doing? Thank you for saying hi. I appreciate when everyone says hi. It's just nice to know there's familiar faces or just returners or just that I have some input. So it's a two-way street here. But okay, there the numbers are anyway. So hey, Stephanie, I'm waving because you can see me, right? There you go. So hi everybody. I don't know if we have any first timers today, but I'm Ninja Steve. Those that don't know, hey Tracy, how you doing? And Leanne, hello, hello, and Judy. Oh, I love it. Kiona, oh my God, fantastic! Yay, everyone's saying hi. I love it. I love it. I love it. Fantastic. That's great. Anyway, I'm Ninja Steve. For anyone that might be here for the first time, hi Jeanette. Janet, you're from Maryland. Well, welcome. Hopefully, spring is springing everywhere for everybody. Dolores, how you doing? Um, I love it. This is the best response. Usually, it's it's like pulling nails sometimes to get y'all to say hi. Um, so thank you. I do appreciate that. I really do that. Oh, thanks, Janelle. I'm really glad that you like the tutorials. That's fantastic. So listen, those that don't know me, if there's anyone new here today, I'm Ninja Steve, and it's Taco Talk, Taco Tuesdays here on, yep, exactly, Taco Tuesday, exactly. Natalie, you're a first timer. Well, welcome. So I'm Ninja Steve. I'm part of the Crystal Ninja team. I work with Kelly. I've worked with her for, oh my God, a bazillion years, I think 7 or 8 years. But anyway, you can't, so Facebook, so hi Sharon. Susie maybe can help you there. I don't know why that is happening. Fantastic, Janet. So, anyone else that's new? So, I have like kind of a little bit, not such a silly thing, but I give you both on Tuesdays. It's a half an hour, and I give you some practical information. And I work on a variety of different projects. So we're working on two things today because um, last week I was working on a tumbler, and I want to continue working on the tumbler just to show you, to give you creative ideas so that so we're going to move to that first. Okay, Susie's helping Sharon with the whatever. So y'all remember, I you know what, hold on, I need to change. There we go. Okay, so y'all remember, camera needs to focus. Oh, come on, let me take off the lid. So this is there we go. There we go. So this is the fairy tale pink, and it's super cool because it has it sparkles, depending on the angle you're doing it. So I wanted just to create this tumbler. It's something fun, and I used the mixes that I've created over the past couple of weeks. So here is the fairy tale pink, and then this is the Caribbean breeze, and then I started to work on here with the lemon ice. So I left the masking tape because last time people asked me how I made this design. So I'm like, let's say I'm old, but I'm old school or whatever. I don't have a Cricut. I don't have something to print things. So I use the good old fashioned masking tape. So as you see, I left this. This is exactly how I put it on. There's the masking tape. You can see that there's yellow paint. I just use acrylic paint, craft paint, but acrylic. I sanded the tumbler to rough it up a little bit. So I put down my tape and then scruffed it up a little bit, and then I painted with acrylic tape. Thank you, Stephanie. Um, so anyway, you just put it on, and then you take off your tape, and then you have a relatively clean line, which in one way is quite good, because let me see. Yeah, over here, it looks like a nice straight line. but if I move up to the camera, I can see that the paint bled a little bit under the tape. So I'm just using my fingernail and I'm just gently touching or scraping those little doily, those little wings, those little imperfections off. I also found out the other day, yes, and all these colors are in stock. I took an alcohol wipe and I wiped it, um, just put it along the edge like this, and it cleaned it up really good. The problem is if you move a little bit too close, and you also start to take the paint off here. So not not so good. But anyway, I wanted to tell you this. So the thing about these color mixes, and so I always, some of you know I come from the theater, so I always have these little funny little stories. So I said this is beginning to look like a bunch of ribbons. So it's either a gymnastic competition and the ribbons are flying everywhere, or it's a maypole. So this would be the top of the maypole, and then all the ribbons going down. Anyway, silly little stories, but sometimes backstories to your projects make it more interesting. And also, if someone said, "Oh, that's really cool," and then you're like, "Well, there's a whole story to it." So I am going to work right now and just fill in this little section. But what I wanted to tell you is that in creating these mixes, I was thinking of spring. So, after a long, cold or rough winter, or whatever, you want lightness back in your life, and you want joy, and you want to see colors, and nature gives you all these beautiful greens, and then flowers start to bloom. Stop. That's my accent. If you haven't guessed, I'm from the East Coast. How many East Coasters are out there? Anyway, so the Caribbean breeze just remind me of like warm weather and whatever. The lemon ice, it just yellow it's such a spring color. And well, I mean, pink, the fairy tale pink is, everybody kind of likes pink. Not everyone, but I think so. Hey, Oracle, how you doing? I'm glad you could make it. So those all have a kind of symmetry or harmony together, and that's why I also made a project with the three. Here's a good way to see it. Those are the three mixes right there, and they look really pretty together. Now I did something which is also really completely dangerous to do, especially if you're doing a live like I am. It's like I had some leftovers, a little bit of each of those mixes, so I mixed them together. And I have to say, I don't hate how it looks. So and that's this middle line here. Let me get rid of all my papers here. Is this. So it, I don't know how it portrays on your viewing end. But the thing is that it's kind of cool that you have the blue, the nice fixed blue, and then you have the very yellow lemony blue, lemon yellow, blah, 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 and then you have the pink. So when I combine them, since the blue would be the harder contrast. We have a whole. So Judy, you're about 2 hours from San Diego. You can make it down here. Come on, make it a day. You'll have a good time. So the thing is, what I want to tell you is that, as I said, I may have made a mistake and could have made an ugly mess, but I don't mind this at all. I think it's rather kind of cool. And in a project, it would be something of interest. Now, there's many ways of addressing your leftover mixes, and that's kind of what I wanted to tell you, is that if you have a little bit of that, you could like use it and kind of do an ombre with it. Now, I'm not demonstrating that right now today. I just mixed the mixes all together, and I made sure that since the blue is a hard contrast in this, I made sure I placed them randomly all over the place so that there was a nice flow or symmetry, so you didn't have like a bunch of blue. And also, although I did do it here, I tried to keep, when it intersected with the blue, to not keep much. Here we go. Only one, so that it makes it pop out. Anywho, how that's just like an idea that you can have for your leftover you might have like a few little extra stones to a mix pack. So I need to put my glasses on so I can see over here. So I am using Fusion Tack here, and I am just putting it down on my line, and you're going to anytime, well, pretty much every project is going to have a line or a beginning or an end, so to speak. So I will outline this little section of this ribbon, and this is some more left over of my crystals. La, 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 la. And I will grab my katana, spread out my crystals, and I am going to just start. And again, I am truly randomly picking stones. I do try to keep the smaller stones in the corners only because it makes for a sharper, cleaner edge here, makes it sharper when you have it. Now, let me see. I think I'm going to, and I can get a little 12 in there. And now I'm going to go down the side here. And remember, you want to stay within your lines. You don't want to go over your lines. We have one of our little names or things we say, if your stones are going over your lines, it creates a doily effect. See, this is nice, crisp and clean. You can see all these lines are nice and crisp and clean because I stayed within the border of the color. So no matter if you're working, whatever you're working on, whatever project there is, if you were working on a tumbler doing full coverage, you have the bottom end, so you want to make that edge nice and clean, and you would have the top end, and you want to keep that nice and clean. So let me spread those out, and I'm going to throw that there. So yeah, just keep that in mind, is to keep your borders nice and even, because it kind of, first of all, your eye naturally goes to a place where it's kind of wonky, and you would like, oh, what the hell is going on there? And you don't want that. You don't want people to go, what the heck's going on there? I think I just swore. I'm so sorry, everyone. Okay, Stephanie, that makes sense. Cool. So I'm just going to quickly, that's upside down. The wonderful thing about a katana, you can touch something and it just flips right over. All right. So I'm going to put that 30 there just because, and I'm going to use a Malmado, which I love Malmado. I just think they create such a interesting effect on your projects because it creates huge texture, which can be super fun. And so if you're working on a mix such as this, and it's basically a 30, SS30, SS20, SS16, SS12, and there is no sprinkle of 8s in there, so never mind. And you're coming to a spacing that's a little bit tight. Oh, something. Yes, exactly, Oracle. That's what I kind of thought is like, it's, you know, oh, there is an 8 here. It's negative space. So, and I actually was gonna, I don't want to use that there. So when you get down, as some of you know, this is my favorite part. It's like the puzzle. You're trying to fit things into a small space, and like, how's it all going to fit? So now I am going to use that 8. So this is what I want to tell you. If you come into some weird spacing, is hey, Robin. Hey, that's cool. Is that you want to just make your spacing consistent. So you don't want all your stones squished together over here, and then there's some large spacing over here, because then your eye looks like, what's going on here? It's too heavy, or it sparkles more over here and it doesn't sparkle as much over there. So the thing is that I pretty much say this every live, is keep your spacing consistent, because you need that to create. So whether you have there's a little more spacing on the blue, and it's super tight here because there was also those 3s in there. But anyway, this gives you an idea of using your lines and also the negative space. And as Oracle pointed out, it's an interesting way to use a tumbler. If I wanted to be crazy, I could then go back now and fill in all the negative space with, since these are lighter colors, I would either choose a darker color. And at the top of my head, I probably would just go with a clear, because the white, the whole cup is kind of light and kind of fun. And so that would be really cool, just to, again, keep it a very springy, fun tumbler. So that's that, as Susie had mentioned, but we have the fairy tale pink, the Caribbean blue, and the lemon ice. We still have some mixes on the website, so you still, if you like how any of those look or need more, then pick them up, because it's an exclusive mix, so when it's gone, it's gone. And I have no idea how many in stock, but I know there's not a lot. But anyway, so let me put this away, because on May 6th here at in San Diego, I will be teaching a license plate class. So I'm giving you a teeny tiny taste of what that class is about. So if you're in the neighborhood, I can't remember who was said there were 2 hours away, something you might like to do. And also those that are far away on the East Coast or somewhere, not close by. In the future, not for the May 6th class, but in the future, we're going to try to have that a live virtual class. So you would, at that time, you would be doing it live with me. And I could see comments as I see here, and then we could talk and we could go over something. So I would love, and it would be super helpful, if any of you that are watching now, if you are interested in participating in the live license plate class, to send Oracle, just convince them, or just go get a license plate and do it and make it fabulous, and he's going to love it. Because you can screw it on and screw it off, so it's no big deal. But the thing is that y'all let us know who would be interested, so we can just get an idea if it's viable to to have a class for everyone. So moving on to the license plate. So this is our license plate. We have them on the website, so you can order them, and it comes. This is the license plate, and it comes with the screws and attachments. So no big deal. So the first thing, and I will do this in real time, and then what I'm going to do is, please listen to my words. Don't do this on your workspace, because the thing is that I'm going to dirty my workspace, and you do not want to work in a dirty workspace. So the first thing, on like 99.9% of your projects, unless it would be like cloth, you're going to prep it and you're going to scruff it up. So I'm taking one of our Ninja files, and I'm going to just scruff up or sand the surface here. There's things that have beveled or round curved edges. We are not sanding this. We're only going to be placing stones right here on the flat surface. So I put my glasses on so I'm just going to scruff it up, and I'm only going to do a small section over here, so that you can, when I hold it up to the light, you're going to be able to see the difference. So by scruffing it up, it's going to not be as shiny, but as minimal as this scruffing up, you are creating little scratches on the surface, and that's going to allow your glue to have something to grab onto and to adhere to. Hey, Rosemary. So I scratched it up, and like I said, you're not going to do this on your normal workspace, because there might be a little metal dust, or if you work on a project, it's going to be all over your table, and it's just going to be nasty, and we don't want that. So you scruff it up, alcohol wipe it off, and now I'm going to hold this up, and let me get the light. Okay, look where my thumb is. You see that's dull, and you see how the light reflects over here, and it's shiny. Maybe doesn't show completely, but this corner where I just did is, yeah, there we go. See, you see how it's a different color here, and then here it is another color. So that's what you want to just scruff it up. and clean it, and then make sure you're. So normally I would do this in the other room or somewhere, so that I could just go on the go on the ground or whatever. So for a license plate, because no matter where you are in the country, whether Florida has sunshine and rain, and California has, we're starting to get a couple more seasons, so we're freaking out here in California. But maybe a lot of the rest of you have 4 seasons, so you have a multiple of weather, hot and cold, and all that kind of stuff. So you're going to want to use a 2-part epoxy. You either have your favorite 2-part epoxy, or um, there's so many different types of two-part epoxies. The thing you want to remember, we often we use CG 500 here at Crystal Ninja. We use universal epoxy. That's our brand, and there's lots of different kinds of epoxies. The point is, an epoxy is made for outside and can handle. We have all 4, and yes, that's true. You do have that, Tammy. Absolutely, exactly. So you want a 2-part epoxy. There are, I think, Bob Smith's. I've actually never worked with Bob Smith, him personally, or his product. There's a half an hour, there's an hour. I think there might be a 15-minute one. So all that means is how long it takes for it to cure, right? Okay, Oracle loves universal epoxy. Yay, Oracle. So listen, I am going to be using, this is called a premium grid fill, and it's going to be done with SS30s and SS16s. I'm using Sapphire AB. So I'm just going to throw out a couple of crystals on my workspace. Now, normally I would have them out here with the glue, but I'm putting them in that way everything can be on camera. And you want to work ergonomically, which means so that you have a lot of less weird positions, so that your body mechanics are nice, so that you don't over repetition of doing things create problems. So I'm just throwing them here because it is also going to be close to my project, but also it's on camera. So listen, we have a silver frame. So unless you were doing just clear, crystal clear, which is white, it looked kind of cool on the silver or the metal. You could also do clear AB, and you could just use your 2-part epoxy, which I already mixed. I actually had 2 little blobs, but they kind of went together, so I couldn't show you that it's equal equal amounts. So 2-part means equal amounts of the 2 parts of the chemicals, the epoxy that we use. So because these are dark stones, like in any project, Susie would have to answer that, Oracle. I don't know. Is that you want to match your back painting, we call it, so the background color closest to your stones, because although this is going to be extremely uniform and really quite pretty, is the fact that when you have your background matching your stones, it gives a bigger impact. This is going to make the blue really, really pop. So I'm using the glitter guy, Dilly Dilly, whatever. It's a very fine glitter, and I personally like a fine glitter because the thing about using glitter and glues is that when you know that is that if it's chunky, it's going to make your glue chunky, and it's going to make your glue rough. And you want it as smooth as possible, so that when you have, okay, I'll use this. You see, this is a flat surface. You want it to touch the surface and have full adherence. You want it to all be down, right? But if there's a bunch of chunky, it's going to be all like a mountain. And so when you put down your crystal, only the mountain peaks are going to be touching the glue. So it's not going to be that secure. So I like the finer glitter because it doesn't disrupt or change the viscosity or texture, etc., of the actual 2-part. So the thing you want to remember here is we are only going to work the surface from here to here, this edge. I'm not going to go around and I'm not going to go over because there will be some spaces. And I'm going to stop for 1 second. I'm using glitter in the two-part epoxy. You could, if you wanted, to still clean it and scruff it up. You could spray paint this. And I would suggest actually automobile paint because it's made for autos, and so the consistency is different. I mean, you could use probably some nice quality paint from Home Depot or wherever, Lowe's or whatever. I would not use necessarily hobby um, paint because this is going to be in the elements. So that is also another option. I'm just using the glitter because let's face it, most of you probably have glitter at home. Probably have too much glitter. Probably you've had glitter in your living room for the last 5 years. Yes, because we all know glitter just keeps on giving and is always there. So I'm rolling out my glue so it is a nice even layer. And I'm also slightly dragging the glitter around so it has pretty much a nice even consistency. I'm going to pull that up to the camera. I wish it would focus, but actually in the blurriness, you see how it just has a nice little sparkle there. So Judy, this is universal and the universal epoxy. So how long before it's going to set? This is 30-minute. If the room is cold enough, it could last for an hour. It could last a little bit longer. Your room temperature is going to affect the curing time. So you have to go by what the manufacturer says at this point if you're not used to working with a certain type of epoxy. And also super important for all of you that are maybe doing this the first time or even the second time, work on small areas. Don't decide to do the whole frame with epoxy because by the time you get halfway, if you're working slowly, this could all cure. So smaller amounts. Yeah, and purple rose, whatever. How much glitter? So I find that's a personal choice. So I on here it looks like there's a lot of glitter in there. And actually there is a lot of glitter there. And I can see when I put it on the thing, it's it's more than what. So my answer to that question would be how much you like it to sparkle. So Miss Mary, you have shoeboxes full of glitter. I'm sure you do. So the thing is that you do. So see if this helps you. You can see that this is still nice and gooey. If I put so much glitter in there that it became thick paste, then it would not be able to spread easy. So that would be too much. But remember, work a small section of your project. Also, put a little glitter and see, do I like it? Add a little bit more. If you put a teaspoon of glitter in there, then you're screwed because it's probably too much. So the thing is that keep on slowly adding until you like how it looks, and don't go past the point of no return when your glue is suddenly really thick. And what I said, those mountain peaks, if there's so much glitter it's all rough and there's not much adherence to the epoxy, then you're kind of defeating using the epoxy because you want the stones to stay. So they're not quite submerged, and I'll use that term loosely, but the whole bottom of your crystal, when it hits the epoxy, the whole surface will be touching. So you know that's going to be secure. So the other thing I want to tell you is, especially at this project, because I'm not showing you how to do a whole section. I'm showing you how to start it. So the thing is that wherever you have your glue, we call this feathering. Kelly loves to roll her little applicator, it's not comfortable for me to do. So I just make sure I drag out. You don't want any heavy lines. No lines. You want to drag out your the end or edge of your epoxy, so it's a super thin layer. So you think of it as a let me do that on the camera. Let me put it over there. So you think of it as a slope. This is where there's where all the stones are going. This is the end of your line, and you make it super thin because this is going to dry. I will only work up to here where I can see. You might not be able to see it, but the glitter is thicker, which I know there's more glue here. Here, it's just spattered around, and I'm only working up to there. That way, tomorrow, the next day, next month, you know how you all start a project and you're like, and you go on to another, you get excited and go do another project. Well, the thing is that when this is all dried, you can now put on another layer of glue on here, and the crystals will sit evenly. If you have a ridge, a hard line, then when you, first of all, your crystal would sit crooked, on when you want it to lie flat, it's going to sit crooked. So it means it's going to bling differently, and it's not going to look good. So I am starting here in the corner. So I am following this line here, this line right here, straight down, and imagining it goes straight down here. So I'm going to do 4 rows on this section. So those that don't know crystal size, just think of it this way: a big, a small, a big, a small. 30, 16, 30, 16. So I am just, and I can tell that I have probably kind of a perfect amount of glue because I can just see as I touch it. Now, on either side of it, you're going to do the opposite. So that's a 30, and I'm going to do a 16 over here. And then that's a 16, and I'm going to do a 30 there. Remember, this is called premium grid. And why is it called a premium grid? Because a grid is going to be straight lines. So there's going to be straight lines vertically, and then straight lines horizontally. And that's something that you will need, and I will show you the best I can. I might have to talk it through because on camera it might not be easiest to show you. So I am just placing, there is a little bit of space between these between the 16 and the 4 because I am trying to cover this full surface. If I tried to cram a 5th row in here, like I put them all touching, then the crystals would hang over either here or over here. And that's that doily thing. And so it will not look good at all. So I am just going to, I picked up 2 stones, so I'm just going to throw that there. So I'm going to just, what you're going to do is you're just going to continue all the way down, get to the corner. Corners are a little different, and we're going to see what happens. What I found after doing a couple of these, sometimes 2 corners match and the other 2 are a little bit different. You're like, what the hell is he talking about? So let's see what he's talking about. But before that, I want to tell you, you would pick up your license plate and you would look. With the head of my katana is my eyeball. I'm looking to make sure all the top facets are in a straight line. And I can see that they are in a straight line. And then I would look with my eyeball, hold this up to my eye, and look down here to make sure that all of them in a straight line this way. So in a grid, it's super important to have straight lines. So here we are at the corner, and I'm placing a 16 because obviously there's going to be a 16 after the 30. And let me move that out of the way. And I am going to put, so 30, 16, 30, or big, small, big. And then there are 2 30s there. So a 16 is going to go there. Perfect. Everything's working out great. A 16 goes there, a small one, because it goes small, big. And now this is, first of all, this is going to go right there because there's a 16, so a big one. And I can see, and actually, let's just test it. See if I have to scooch anything over. A 16 is going to go above the 30, and then, oh, it's 5:05. I got to finish up here. So sorry, people. I'm chatty. Let me just do this super quick. So I want to make sure that it stays within the edge here, and I want to make sure that looking straight up, that they're all in line. So I am going to move that over a teeny tiny bit. That way, this line is straight. Pull that over. Now that's straight, and that line is straight. Here in the corner, you may have to adjust things because your surface space has gotten smaller. So well, on this one, it works out pretty darn good. So that was a small and a large, a 16 and a 30, and guess what? And a 30 and a 16. So this side worked out pretty perfect. I can tell you that this zone is a teeny tiny bit off, but you know what? No one's going to really. Oh my God, there's so much conversation going on there. 30s and 16, okay. You 30s, 8s, sure. Susie's got you all covered. So the important thing here is, let me just do a little bit more, is now on the sides, going up the side, it's just a row of 2. I'm only going to do one more of each because I know I can see by my glue that it's feathered out or thinner, and I do not want to work past that. I mean, I would work past that because I've been doing this enough that I can like fix it. I can work up to it. But so look, listen to me ramble over here. Sorry, I'm over time, and I don't want to keep you all from whatever you're doing. So it's important to make sure when you look down this way, this line is straight. When you look straight up, that line is straight. So now I just continue all the way up until we get to this corner, and then here at the top, there's something else we have to do because that's where the nuts and bolts go. But you would just continue straight along here. Remember, large, small, super easy peasy. And you don't want to, you want to make sure you let that sit in case anything slides or shifts, and then just randomly check and look down. So straight line. The cool thing about this color, this Sapphire AB, is the fact that the facets are quite pronounced. So I can see that is off like not even a 16th of an inch. It's just off or whatever. But all the facets will line up. So y'all, that was a quick demo on the start of a license plate. And don't forget, May 6th, we're going to be doing a license plate in. Yes, I can. Oh, wait, I hide that. That's not what we wanted to see. So Susie said, show a close-up. I'm waiting for the camera to focus. Like if it get too close, it's all blurry. Come on, focus. I'm sorry, it's not focusing. I'm sorry. It's so there you can you see how the top facets are all lined up? It's probably gonna, you can see that it's Stephanie, does that help? Okay, cool. You can you can see that all the facets, which means they're in a straight line. Now, also because this is fresh glue, I might have to so when you look at it, you want to keep it level. You want to try not to keep on twisting it left, right, and center. And that looks really good. So anyway, if you can make it May 6th, we're having an in-person class. It's just the whole license plate. And hopefully in the future, we're going to have a virtual class, a live virtual class, so you can be in the privacy of your home and enjoy making it with me at the same time. Don't forget, we still have some of the ninja mixes. There is the Fairy Tale Pink, the Caribbean Blue Breeze, and Lemon Ice. And I think for today, that is it. So I look forward to seeing whoever shows up next week. And you're welcome, Stephanie. And if you have any questions, go to info@crystal-ninja.com. We're on many social platforms for a look at that. Also, Kelly wanted me to tell you all that soon, because we have so many platforms, and there's yes, Stephanie, it's a great project for your daughters. It was really cool. You're welcome, Oracle. We're going to be having a new monthly private group. That way, I haven't been told all the details, but there'll be an announcement, and so it hopefully will be easier and more helpful to you all, to have questions answered like in real time and everything. So thanks so much, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.